What's up, everybody? It's your girl Tiffany N Benson, aka Lady Arabella, and tonight we are going to do a business goal with a stimulus twist because finally the Senate has put together a bill that they are proposing to the House. So finally, maybe we might get some answers. So let's just talk about it. So first, welcome to all of our new subscribers. For those of you guys that are new to our channel, just to let you know, this is marketing and PR. I own Arabella Models Image Consulting, which is now Arabella Marketing and PR. And we do everything marketing and PR on this channel, whether it's for small businesses or indie artists. So everything business development or brand development for talent. And then we also review products and talk about stimulus. So my set's a little full, guys. We just got off of set, actually like an actual set. So these are all the things I needed that are just kind of here. So I know it's probably distracting, but hey, it's been a long weekend. So let's talk about stimulus. So finally, the Senate has proposed a bill for their idea of what stimulus should be like and what the new counteract to the CARES Act should be. So this one is actually called the HEALS Act. I feel like they should just kind of pick one name and just stick with that. Like, why does there have to be a CARES Act, a HEROES Act, a HEALS Act? Like, stop naming things. Just leave it one name and just put a bill together because everybody is waiting. So I wrote down a couple things that I read through, and I'm just going to give you guys some bullet points of what is they have in this one. Now this is an act, or this bill is actually still going to the Senate. So this is the first part of negotiation. So basically the original HEROES Act, they didn't like. They were like, no, I'm not taking any of that in there. So they created the HEALS Act, and so now the HEALS Act is getting sent to the House, and the House is going to negotiate it, and then we'll go back to the Senate once that negotiation period is done, and then it'll get signed by the president. So for those of you guys that are wondering how the process works and why it takes so long, it's because there's a lot of people that have to look at it and then send it back and then negotiate it and then send it back and then negotiate it and then be like, okay, now we're done. So that's why it takes forever. And I know you guys have been asking me a lot of questions about stimulus, and I didn't want to make a video until there was something that was more than just going back and forth. So now we have something. All right, guys, so with this one, they first and foremost, they agreed to a $1,200 stimulus check. Now, stimulus check was something that the House wanted in their act, so it also is agreed upon in the Senate. So therefore, the American people will be getting another $1,200 stimulus check. Well, probably $1,200. It might get negotiated up, might get negotiated down, but at least there will be a stimulus check. So in this one, it is saying $1,200 for every person, and then also there's going to be another $500 for dependents. Now, you can't have the stimulus check if you owe back child support. Also, for those that are in prison or those that have gone through prison or are still in prison right now for 2020, like if you went, I think, like in the beginning of the year or something like that, and you're in prison, you will not get a stimulus check. Or if you owe back child support, your stimulus check will go to the person that you owe child support to. Now, this also doesn't say anything about anything retroactive. Last time, all the college students that were dependents and then some of the adult dependents got skipped with stimulus checks. There is nothing in this bill for retroactive, but they will be included underneath this act with an extra $500 to their person that they are a dependent to. So there is going to be a $75,000 threshold if you're an individual and a $150,000 threshold if you are married. So those are going to be the thresholds that you have to make in order to get that. Now, moving along to unemployment. Unemployment, they are talking about reducing the $600 boost down to $200. Once again, this is just a starting point to where it's then going to get negotiated, so it might be higher or it might just be $200, but this is what is proposed right now. The interesting part about this is that the extra $200 boost will go until September. At the end of September, then you'll go into, well, underneath this act, you'll go into a 70% of what your income what you're missing from your income. So up to $500. It's confusing. So basically the state will take what you make and then they will take 70% of that, and that will be what you would be getting in unemployment benefits. So if the state deems, okay, you would normally be getting $500 in unemployment benefits and the state only pays you $200, then you'll get an additional $300 with the extra bonus to get up to $500, because that's the max. I hope that makes sense. But that is something that will be happening in October if this passes through. That's a little confusing, and then there's something in there too about the state can just take a waiver if they're confused and just continue to pay each person the additional $200 up until the end of the year, which to me sounds a lot easier than doing percentages on every last person that tries to apply for unemployment. Can you imagine that? I couldn't imagine working in the unemployment office and then somebody coming to my desk and saying, by the way, I need you to go through all of this stack of people and there's more on the copier, and just, find what their 70% mark would be. That's crazy. That's very, very crazy, guys. Also, there's something in there for $1.5 billion to schools. Now, this is going to be, there is a smaller portion that'll go to schools that are going to be taught online, and then there's more money that's going to schools that'll be taught in session, so person-to-person schools, which I don't have any children, but if it were me, I would want my kid to be at home because that's a lot of germs kind of everywhere. There is also something that says something about the PPP and about how they'll be giving more money to the PPP, and there's going to be more benefits to that. I will go into that at a later date this week. I'm going to see what kind of gets approved, what kind of doesn't get approved, so then I can give you guys the latest information on the PPP, because I know a lot of businesses are still looking for money for their businesses to kind of stay afloat right now. And guys, there is nothing in here on the EIDL, there's nothing in here on the SBA, so those grants and different things like that, none of that's included. So it looks like all small businesses will have are the PPP. And there's supposed to be a couple of different loopholes that you can kind of work around in order to be able to make it better for the business, but who knows? I feel like the PPP was really just made for big businesses, but that's my personal opinion. There is nothing in here about postal services, nothing in here about the eviction ban, which is up, I think today. If this video goes out tonight, it'll be up today. If not, it'll be up tomorrow. Well, it'll be up yesterday. So there's nothing in there about that. So I hope that they do something, because I feel like that'll be a lot of people getting evicted, and that's something that our country does not need in the middle of a pandemic. There's been talks of extending it, but currently in this HEALS Act, there is nothing in there that talks about it. Also, there's nothing in there that talks about hazardous pay or anything for our heroes that are continuing to work through the pandemic. So I hope this little bit of information gives you guys just a little bit of what's going on, and just wanted to keep you guys up to date on what is new and what is current. I will be going over this all week long, because they're supposed to be negotiating it and then trying to get something before they go back to recess. So until next time, make sure you guys are washing your hands and fly high, my Bella Butterflies.